Okay, so this is problems 15, 16, and 17 from Test 3 review. And you just have to find the slope of each line. Now, these equations don't look normal. They still somehow come back to this basic y equals mx plus b format. But let's take a look at it. Here, it doesn't look anything like that. But if we rearrange the problem to solve for y, then we will have this format. So we just do algebra to begin to rearrange the problem to solve for y. First, we're going to take the, let's see if we can keep track of this. We're going to subtract this entire thing from both sides of the equation. So that would be minus 2x. And this would be minus 2x from this side. And that would give us a new problem that looked like this. Plus 2x minus 2x is 0. So we have 4y. So 4y equals, we still have 16, we haven't done anything to that, and we have minus 2x. We can't do anything, we can't do any math other than just write down that we're subtracting 2x. Alright, so our next step is to divide by this 4, because we want the y to be alone. 4 is multiplied, so we do the opposite. So let's do this. We're going to divide each side by 4. And that seems a little weird over here, but you'll see how that works. With this type of situation, what you're really doing is 16 divided by 4 minus, so let's write it a little differently. 4 over 4 is 1, so that leaves this as y. So we have y. It's going to start finally looking a little more like what we want it to look. We can take this denominator and put it under each of these terms. So we're going to have 16 divided by 4 minus 2x over 4. We are going to simplify these fractions. So we will have y equals 4, because 16 divided by 4 is 4. And we will have 2/4 reduces to 1/2, and then you have minus 1/2 x. Well, this still doesn't quite look like this. What we have is the mx here and the b there. Well, we can flip it around. In order to do that, you imagine there's a plus sign next to the 4, and you keep the minus sign with the 1/2 x, so that it goes together as a complete unit. We'll move that whole thing, and I can even be snazzy. I can select it, and I can copy, paste, and bring this whole term into the front. And I could do the same with this term. So I copy, paste, and I can bring that term to this side. Now this is a plus sign because it's a plus 4. So the whole thing comes together, negative 1/2 x, and you simply write down this is a plus 4. So now we have an equation, y equals mx plus b, and here it is. The negative 1/2 is the m, or the slope, and the 4 is the y-intercept, or the b. So this, by rearranging, we have found our answer. It's asking for the slope of the line. And here it is, negative 1/2, because it fits into our equation, y equals mx plus b. So I can move this down there. And what we have now is the y and the m and the x plus the b. So our slope is negative 1 for the first equation. I guess I should type that in there. Slope equals -1/2. So then on this problem, what we have is y equals 3, which indicates this here, mx, is 0. If the slope is 0, then 0 times x is 0, so y equals 3. So what this is telling us is the slope is 0. The other thing to know about this is that any time that you have y equal to a number equals 0, you will always have a slope of 0. And this will always be a horizontal line. So this draws a horizontal line. And that will always be the case. And why that is because no matter what you plug in for x, it'll always turn back to 0. So if you have x is 5, you'll keep going to 3 on the y-axis. So it just makes one straight line at y equals 3. I wish I had a graph I could graph and show you how that worked, but this program is not sophisticated enough. But just remember, when you have y equals 3, slope is always 0, and it draws a horizontal line. For this one, you have a slope of undefined, and you should say undefined. Don't say no slope. The slope is undefined. And that is a symbol that looks like this. You would have a 0 with a, that didn't turn out very well, with a slash through it. A 0 with a slash through it is undefined. And that's because this is a vertical line. Anytime you have x equal to a number, you will always draw, so it draws a vertical line. And when you have a vertical line, you have a rise, you have up, you have an upward, but your run doesn't go anywhere. You have so your run is 0. When you have rise over run and it's 0 on the bottom, that is undefined, because if you remember your fraction rules, you cannot have 0 in the denominator. That's undefined. Whereas here, when you're drawing a horizontal line, y is equal to a certain number, you have a run, but you don't have a rise. You're a horizontal line, so it never goes up or down. But that's okay. You can have 0 in the numerator. So that's really where this comes back to. The reason this ends up undefined is because when drawing a vertical line, your run, or the way you're going side to side, doesn't exist. You can't go side to side, so it's 0, and you cannot have 0 in the denominator. You can still draw a graph with x equals 3, you just don't have a defined slope. Okay, and I hope that helps explain some of that.